Hello everybody, welcome back to another One Piece chapter review. Today we'll be talking about chapter 1089, but before we actually jump into that, you're probably all wondering, where is the Gear 5 video? And that's a good point, where is the Gear 5 video? Well, it'll be out tomorrow around about the same time as this one, well, only a day later, and with that said and done, let's jump into the actual chapter itself, shall we? But first we need to quickly talk about the chapter cover, which is a beautiful drawing of Nami being brought tea in the middle of the night by a cow. And I don't mean that in a rude way, I mean literally it was a cow. And the cow is holding a note as well from Sanji asking Nami to come stargazing with him. However, she declines. I will read the note to you now. The stars are so pretty tonight, just like you, Nami. Shall we go stargaze together? Yeah, she wasn't interested. However, we then see both Windmill Village and Dadan's reaction to the information that Garp has gone missing on Pirate Island, but they bring up a good point, and it's that it says Garp has gone missing, not that he's dead. However, I don't know, I think he probably is dead, although Oda doesn't like to kill off characters, so maybe. But then we actually see the rest of the world, where everyone's a little shaken up over quite a large earthquake that has happened all around the world, which has raised the sea level in the world of One Piece by 1 meter, and apparently it's to do with the Lulusia disappearing incident. So, how that'll turn out, I don't know. You know, the sea level rising by 1 meter is quite a large amount. It's affecting a lot of people in the One Piece world. For example, the residents of Kamabaka Kingdom can't do their strut on the beach anymore. Very sad for them. A great W for Sanji. But then we of course cut back to Egghead Island for the first time in 3 months, where we see what I can only call a mega Buster Call, because it's a bit bigger than a Buster Call, and when I say that I mean it's times by 5, as a normal Buster Call would be 20 ships. This is 100 ships, including 20 battleships, and I mean giant battleships. Not to mention we've got 9 vice admirals, only 2 of them we know the names of, but the other 7 are just, you know, disgusting creatures. That's all I could really describe them as. But the 2 we do know the names of are Doberman and Doll. Don't worry if you don't know who Doberman is, because I didn't really either. I don't think we've ever really heard his name properly. Maybe it was in like one panel of one page. But aside from that, you don't really need to know about Doberman, because I don't think many people do. And Kizaru and J. Garcia Saturn are there, but despite all this, they're still having some trouble getting on the island, because it's being defended by the robot animals and Sentomaru, who's controlling all of the pacifistas. So, even though they've got this huge fleet, they're not really doing much with it at the moment, just kind of standing there. And surprisingly, Kizaru is being very considerate, saying, you know, I'm just a cog in the machine, just give it up and let me through. Honestly, I thought Kizaru was some evil bastard, but I'm starting to see a bit more humanity in him now, and I'm liking that. But then we actually get to see a call between the 5 elders and Kizaru, with your favourite person of them all, the person who eats, sleeps, and shits. You know her. You love her. York. Honestly, I don't even know what to say with her in this chapter. I think I laughed a bit too much at the end of this chapter, because it was just stupid. I just don't know how this happened, and I can't stop finding it funny. So, in this call between York and the 5 elders and Kizaru, we hear basically everything that she's done for them, and she also gives a good few demands of stuff she wants. She wants to be a celestial dragon, she wants the lab to stay unharmed, but then she makes a final one. And this one's a little bit more serious than the other ones, and a bit more urgent. Save me before Straw Hat Luffy kills me. And then we cut to her on the floor with Zoro having a sword to her throat. What? How? How did this happen? How did we get to this? Last time we saw York, she had Vegapunk in prison, she had shot Shaka, and Bonnie was missing. And now she is lying on the floor with everyone looking pretty good, honestly. Everything seems to be going as they say, Fabby Dabby Doo. But aside from my terrible Scooby-Doo impression, that is the end of the chapter. But before we finish, I'd quickly like to talk about a few things in the chapter. Firstly being the stuff that happened with York. I don't know if I completely liked it. It was very funny, and I really enjoyed it, but I don't know if it works. Oda does that a lot, where he just doesn't show a fight, and for good reason. It allows you to build it in your head instead. It works much better in certain situations. But I think a lot happened off screen. Maybe he'll go back to that in the next chapter in like a, I don't know, flashback or something. But I just don't think it worked as well as some things. Like, for example, Sanji versus Page 1. We see the aftermath, but we don't actually see the actual fight. But in this, it's just everyone comes together again, and we don't really get an explanation as to how. I don't know, maybe could have been done a little better. But even so, I really enjoyed the chapter as usual. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I don't think I've really got anything else to say. There are some things that interest me a little bit, like the whole of Lulusia. I'm just going to call it the whole at this point, because that's basically what it is. But we haven't seen much about it yet, so there's not really much to talk about. So yeah, that is the end of the video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and even subscribe. And yeah, that's it for today. Goodbye.